welcome to yet another episode of the Football Lookout, your favorite football podcast. Alright, so we're gonna dive right in. So before I go through the games over the weekend, I'm here with Imran.
What's going on? How you doing?
Safe.
Hello.
Basil.
Hey, what's poppin'?
And Rayon is busy with his boyfriend. We'll talk about that another time. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the games. So on Saturday we had Everton beat West Brom 5-2. Leeds beat Leeds beat Fulham 4-3. No surprise there, they let in a lot of goals. Still won the game. Manchester United, the great Manchester United, lost 3-1 to Crystal Palace.
Beautiful.
Zaha masterclass.
Great stuff. Yep. Arsenal beat West Ham 2-1.
Completely. Completely.
100%, but we'll touch on that shortly. And on Sunday, we had Tottenham. Okay, yeah. They did alright. They beat Southampton 5-2.
How much did it pain you to say that?
It burns right now, man. They did well, you know. They did well. Okay, moving on. Brighton beat Newcastle 3-0. Liverpool beat Chelsea 2-0. To be honest, I didn't expect anything other than a win from Liverpool, even though they're not like firing on all cylinders, you know, like they were last Christmas.
That was a beautiful 1-2 between Kepa and Mane. I just want to point that out.
Oh man,
it was the assist of the season.
It really
That's
was.
why he cost that much, you know.
You guys hear that rumor that Firmino was telling Kepa to pass it to Mane, and Kepa actually did.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what happened? It was kind of like Firmino was kind of directing Mane where to press, even though Mane wasn't facing him.
No. Someone was saying that Firmino was pretending to be a Chelsea player and say, pass it forward, pass it straight forward. Knowing that Mane will intercept. That's why when Mane intercepted, Firmino had that big smile on his face. That's apparently so.
I think if you look at the positioning, I felt like Firmino could have went left, even though he was kind of closer to Mane. So Kepa may have thought naturally he could just pass it out that way.
Maybe.
But
Maybe.
yeah, it was a big L for Chelsea, well deserved. Let's have a look at the last three games. So Leicester beat Burnley 4-2. And then yesterday on Monday, Aston Villa beat Sheffield 1-0, and Wolves lost to Manchester City 3. Man City beat Wolves 3-1. Yeah. All right, so let's have a look at these games. Which ones? Let's look at. Well, obviously, let's continue on our discussion about the Liverpool Chelsea game. So, how good is Havertz?
Well, right now,
James Charles.
James Charles.
James Charles is a flop.
No, he needs time. You know, it's very early on, and he doesn't have Pulisic or Ziyech next to him. So it's clearly showing he's not quite there yet, up to speed.
100%.
I was more disappointed with not more disappointed. Actually, I was more disappointed with Havertz, but Werner I thought would have been more of a threat to our back line.
Him. Fabinho absolutely
really did.
pocketed him.
True. Yeah, I mean, I was reading comments the other day and someone was saying something about how, you know how some players can look busy but they don't actually do much?
Right.
Werner looks busy. Yeah, like between him and Havertz, Werner looks busy but he didn't actually do anything.
Yo, that miss was kind of bad as well, you know?
That was horrible, bro. That's that Torres 2.0, man.
I don't know. I mean, Chelsea have a history of big money signings going bad. Shevchenko, Morata, Torres, yeah. Kepa, of course. So
I'll say,
got history there.
just to add to that, I mean, of course we know it's early. It's only been 2 games, you know, but I think a lot of the rival clubs' fans are really enjoying Chelsea suffer right now. Idris actually left the group chat the other day and started cry tweeting on Twitter, and then he deleted the tweets 20 minutes later, like a baby.
Proper meltdown. But
he had a meltdown, and I'm enjoying it. You know,
he blocked Rayan too.
Yeah, and he blocked Rayan.
Rayan is the biggest troll, man. He's the biggest troll.
So honestly, I'm enjoying it.
He'll come good. Havertz will come good, but right now he's flopping. I
believe so, yeah. And I think the other thing is like Chelsea haven't been able to spend money in the past 2-3 windows, so they've been splashing the cash. And I think, I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of jealous because they got Ziyech. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong. Havertz, Werner. Who else did they buy? Chilwell. Thiago Silva on a free, right? So they've gotten, that's like half a squad there, half a first team.
And they've got the goalkeeper now, innit?
Oh, yeah.
They're wrapping up a deal for Mendy.
The Rennes goalkeeper. So that's seven starters, man. They got 7
That's
stars.
a lot of players, yeah.
And they're still linked with Declan Rice. Can you believe that?
Oh, man.
That'd be insane.
If they somehow
Lampard gets what he wants.
Million, I don't know. To me, that just doesn't... I don't know how 7 first-team starters can gel so quickly, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah, there's going to be an adjustment period for sure. To be fair, though, in this match, it was pretty even. Like, kind of even. It was very, like... We weren't really breaking through. We didn't have any shots in the first half. But it's not like we were being dominated by Chelsea either. So it was very much like eventually someone would have had to risk something to win the game. Thank God for Christensen being stupid and basically NFL-style tackling Mane. That was very beautiful.
That was wild, yeah.
That was like Guendouzi. Like, remember Guendouzi and Zaha? Same.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah.
I also think, like, I know Havertz has only had, a game and a half, right? But I think it was pretty telling that he got subbed off instead of Mason Mount at halftime. Because I thought Lampard would have subbed off Mount for their for a center back for Tomori, but not Havertz.
Yeah, I think maybe Mount had a little more going on, just a little more.
I don't know. I thought he was kind of poor, Mason Mount.
But yeah, so a question for you, Basil. Moving on. What did you make? So what happened, bro? What do you think Mourinho said in that dressing room to turn the tide for that Tottenham game?
Well, first of all, what a performance by Harry Kane. I mean,
for sure, yeah.
He pulled his best Kevin De Bruyne impression in that match.
Yeah, and before you go on, right, I'll just say one thing. He's making these passes without even looking at the direction he's passing in. That was amazing.
Yeah,
lots of nice first-time balls too.
Yeah, he has a good connection with Son, which is nice to see. After playing together for so long, and then just imagining Bale getting on the end of those as well. It's gonna be awesome. Hopefully everyone can stay fit this season. But yeah, no, I think the decision at halftime was very much a tactical one. I think it was clear that Southampton's high line was there to be exploited, and I think I think in the first half you sort of saw both Son and Kane both trying to break the offside trap. There's a lot of offsides. I remember watching the first half and we got caught offside several times. Harry Kane even put the ball in the back of the net once or twice and was called offside both times. But I think in the second half he sort of dropped a little bit deeper into the hole between the lines, and then Son came a little inside rather than wide, and so he played a little more centrally. And so Kane was almost a second striker in a way, and Son was sort of up top. And we saw what happened after that. 4 goals for Son, and then Kane got the goal that he deserved at the end of the day. So yeah, good job by the coaching staff and Mourinho for making the changes. And then I think Ndombele had a good first half, and then Lo Celso also brought his own flair in the second half when he came on for Ndombele. So yeah, I think we're managing the minutes pretty well for these guys as well.
Speaking of Ndombele,
oh man, they shot themselves in the foot several times.
They did.
He scored. All of their goals were so similar in the sense that, like you said, Harry Kane dropped off, pinged the ball, and Son just got in behind. It's just like, don't you learn? Don't you lot learn? I don't know, man.
Yeah, you got to look at the manager for that one, because they were in the game at the beginning of the second half.
They were the better team in the first half.
Yeah.
Southampton.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were doing really well.
Yeah, I think Son's goal right before halftime definitely changed the feel of the game.
Hey, shout out, son. Got me 24 points this week in fantasy.
Ooh.
Wait, Kane must have got you more points then if you got 4 assists and a goal.
Kane got me 21 points because Son's goals count for more points because he's a midfielder in fantasy.
Damn.
Interesting. All right, moving on. Did anyone watch the Everton versus West Brom game? Everton beat them 5-2.
Yeah, I watched it.
I wish I did, because that looked like a very exciting game.
It was a good game.
Imran, what was that figure you told us? That stat about the goals of the weekend?
44 goals. So over this weekend, we've had the most goals ever in the Premier League. 44 goals.
Interesting.
That's amazing.
3 of those matches were 7-goal games. I think it was the Everton one, and then the Leeds game,
and the Spurs
and then
game
the Spurs game.
Yeah. Both teams, both Everton and West Brom, looked good going forward, but both their defenses need a bit of work, especially West Brom, especially them. They need work on their defense. All the promoted teams, man. Leeds conceded 3. West Brom conceded 5, Fulham conceded 4. They all need to work on the defenses, man. Otherwise, they won't stay up. They're gonna go down, like Jay Sean.
Man, that reminds me of high school.
I know, right?
He was the first brown boy to get it popping.
Yes, he was. All right, and then there was the Okay, so
let's talk about the Palace game. Not Man United. Let's talk about the Palace game. Palace dominated that. They went to Old Trafford.
Oh, you know what?
From a dream to a nightmare. Theatre of nightmares.
One thing, right? You know, Zaha is being accused of playing for a move. People were saying that, like, once the window is closed and all that, he's not going to be able to keep it up.
I don't rate Zaha as highly as some people do, especially the Arsenal fan base. They absolutely love him, but I don't think he has that many like amazing qualities. He's a good player, but I don't think he's a world class talent as some people think. But he done well against United.
He done really well. I think, if I feel like he would thrive at like a Everton Wolves level club, if you see what I mean.
I mean, he could do a job for the top 6 teams, but I just don't think anyone kind of needs a player like him right now.
Yeah, I get you. Plus, his price tag is probably a bit hefty.
Yeah. But Man United, oh my days, they were dreadful.
They are awful. They are awful, man.
Bro, it's just mad because they didn't look, apart from the goal and maybe one header by Greenwood, they didn't really create that many chances. That Palace looked comfortable. They sat in 2 lines of 4, stayed compact, and then boom, United couldn't do nothing. And considering at one point they had Pogba, Fernandes, and Van der Beek on, is a bit like concerning. Like, you got players there, but you still can't do much. Even with the handball incident, I don't think that was a handball. I think the handball rule is ridiculous right now, because that was a handball.
I think it was 7 penalties given in the Premier League already in 2 match days.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Really? Damn.
But that one,
the majority of them handball.
Yeah, and that was an handball, man. They really need to start implementing common sense when making these laws, because the guy was running. Obviously, use your arms to run. If the ball from like less than 2 meters away flicks up and hits your hand, there's no way for you to react. Plus, your arm is in a natural position because you use your arms for running. So, I don't know, man. I just hope that they change it and use a bit of common sense. But yeah, even then, I think even if you take away the penalty, I still think Palace would have won. In no circumstance could I have seen United winning. They were just trash. Those are just trash. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. And but I think that goes into like... sorry for cutting you off. But I think that goes into one reason why I had United finishing outside of the top four, and I think a lot of our predictions is because of their lack of transfer activity so far. I mean, Van de Beek, I think, is a good move. He's a good player, but it's clear from what we've seen so far that they definitely need more than just that.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. What other games do we have? So, yesterday Manchester City beat Wolves 3-1. What did you make of that?
Pretty much deserved win for Man City. Wolves had chances. They had so many clear-cut chances. I don't know how they didn't finish them. But if you look at the whole game overall, yeah, you can say Man City deserved to win.
Phil Foden's finally getting playing time.
Got his goal too.
Yeah, it's good. I'm happy for him though. In all seriousness. Okay. Let's see what other games we had. Leicester beat Burnley 4-2, and remember how none of us had Leicester in our top four, did we? Did we have them in our top six?
No one had them in our top six.
No, I don't think so.
Is that a bit disrespectful for none of us to have them in the top six?
No, not really.
I don't think so, but if anyone disagrees, they can let us know if you're listening to this.
Yeah.
Do you think Leicester will make the top six?
Let us know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like, sort of what I said last week. You know, if they have a good season, they can. I think they can definitely contend for it. But from what we saw at the end of last season, and just how they are now, and it's hard to really give them that credit, you know, to finish top six. You know, if they go on a great run this season and pick up a lot of points, sure, they can change that perception of them. But I think at this moment, it's really hard to put them in a top six position, especially with condensed schedule and Europa League fixtures that are gonna come for them.
Yeah, 100%. By the way, Dennis Pratt scored a sick goal. He scored an absolute banger that game.
Was it the curler?
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was a good finish.
All right, so somehow we, as in Arsenal, we beat West Ham 2-1, and that was completely undeserved. Yeah, Imran, what are your thoughts on that midfield?
Yeah, obviously I don't want to spend too much time on it, but we didn't deserve it. I think our midfield was good at getting the ball back, but we didn't have any real creativity, and we need creative players. We need to play Ozil. I don't know why Arteta's not playing Ozil. Yeah, but we need creativity, definitely, especially against teams like West Ham that will have play a low block against us. We need someone like Ozil who can possibly. I mean, he's probably he's washed. He's not as good as he was before, but I'm sure he has something. But yeah, that's it. Really.
Okay, all right. So let's take a look at the week 3 games on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, 26th, 27th, and 28th. So let's look at some of the standout games. Can Brighton beat Man United? ? Let's see what other games are there. Tottenham are playing Newcastle. The only reason why I mention that is because they have 1 win and 1 loss. So let's see,
Wait, if Tottenham playing Man United?
They're playing Newcastle United.
Oh.
Yeah. Man United are playing Brighton.
Oh.
And the reason why I mentioned Tottenham is because obviously, they're in everyone's group for top 6. Potentially top 4 for some of us.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if they can keep this winning run going. Manchester City play Leicester on Sunday at 11:30.
Yeah, I think
that should be a pretty. Yeah, it should be a pretty entertaining game.
Then the big one, man, Liverpool Arsenal.
Arsenal on Monday.
Who's home for that one?
Liverpool.
We're gonna get beaten. Just gonna say how Salah's gonna score.
I don't know, man. You guys have played really well against us.
Say again.
You guys have played really well against us under Arteta.
No, we have.
But
That
was last season.
The league game and the Community Shield, good performances by us, but I don't know. I think Klopp might have figured us out. I think Salah just on it, man.
Is Fabinho gonna play centre back again?
Depends. I believe Matip is out for a month. Either Matip or Gomez are out for a month. Another one is supposed to be back in like a week. So one of them could start, but I think there is a decent chance that Fabinho ends up starting at centre back again. In which case, I think we could see either Henderson playing CDM or Fabinho as the deepest midfielder. Oh, no, not Fabinho. Sorry, Thiago.
Thiago.
Okay. Yes, Thiago. Absolutely.
Thiago is the deepest? Is that what you said?
Yeah, because he played the deepest when he got subbed in for Henderson.
Yeah, but I would imagine that Henderson would start, right?
Yeah, he would. So he will definitely start somewhere in the midfield.
So I think probably Thiago as the holding mid, and then Henderson and Wijnaldum as the eights.
Yeah,
kind of like how they normally do. Kind of like how they normally do, but Thiago replacing Fabinho.
Yes,
in the midfield.
That is an option. Klopp could rotate it as well. He could play people in different positions. He could put Keita in the midfield if he wanted to, instead of, say, Wijnaldum. Things can be done.
I think he's going to play Keita, Henderson and Wijnaldum to start off with. Because he knows that Arsenal are going to play a low block, so he wants a bit of creativity in there. Someone to be able to maybe push
Do you
forward.
think Wijnaldum will still be there by next week?
Good question. Don't know.
Because I know Barcelona, they had to get rid of players to sign players, and now it seems that Vidal has joined Inter.
For 1 million.
Suarez seems to be imminently joining Atleti. And
I will say that Barca did just get a new manager, right?
Yes.
So that could change things.
Mm-hmm. No, but
Wijnaldum's a good.
He's the one who wanted Wijnaldum because he knows him from the national team.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think possibly with Vidal leaving, I think Wijnaldum would probably slot in as his replacement. I think they'll be able to complete that deal. And then also Semedo joining Wolves means that Barcelona are probably going to either go for Dest from Ajax or Max Aarons from Norwich.
Apparently they rejected 2 offers from Barcelona for Aarons. If I was Aarons, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to keep me at Carrow Road just instead of me playing at the new camp. Oh man, I'd burn the Carrow Road to the ground. What the fuck you doing?
Seeing training with Messi every day, you know. Alright.
You mentioned Suarez. Did you hear about that cheating scandal? Where he cheated on his Italian citizenship.
Yeah, apparently he knew all the answers. Allegedly. He knew the answers beforehand.
This guy, man.
How does that even work?
Can he not do anything fairly?
Diving, cheating, biting, like he's
racism.
He's one. He's got a lot on his resume. You know, he's a very industrious.
Is he to blame for that? Do you think?
I don't know.
For what?
Yes, I would say so.
For the scandal.
Somewhat, yeah. Somewhat, I think. Like, because he always had the option to say, no, let me not do that. Otherwise, I could get in trouble. Well, to be honest, we don't know if he actually done it. It's just accusations at this moment in time.
Yeah.
But if he did, I'd put somewhat of the blame onto him.
That's wild, man. And now he's not even going to end up going to Italy anyway.
All that.
But I will say, the last time Barcelona sold a striker to Atleti, they won the league.
Mm-hmm. And Suarez is not, he's not like as good as he used to be, but he's still a damn good striker.
Yeah.
I still rate him as a player.
I think he'll be an upgrade on Morata.
Oh, 100. That's not hard to do, bro. But yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Definitely, man.
Can we just talk
some,
about, even though Costa is washed right now, Luis Suarez and Diego Costa on the same team?
That might be good. That might be.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Costa hasn't had a good season in a while. I think Suarez can still be decent. Like, he still scored, 16 league goals last season. And then with Felix behind, I mean, they've got a decent squad, but yeah, I don't know how Costa's gonna fare, or if he's even gonna be there by the end of the window.
Yeah, in their prime, like Costa in his prime and Suarez in his prime, it would be a nightmare, an absolute nightmare for defenders because they would just bully people. But right now, I don't know.
Okay, interesting. So here's a question for you guys and the listeners too. Let us know your thoughts on this. So of course Liverpool finally got their man Thiago, and Spurs got Bell and Regular. I don't know how to say his name.
Reguilon.
It's definitely not regular.
Regular.
It's a joke, bro. Come on. But yeah, so
Boo.
Spurs and Liverpool finally have their men, and they're looking.
Oh, don't forget
a lot
Jota.
stronger.
Don't forget Jota. Diego Jota.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah. So yeah, Liverpool did get him from Wolves. So yeah, they both got their men. I think Bell coming back to the Premier League is exciting, if big question mark he can stay fit. If he can stay fit, I think Tottenham will exceed our expectations. What do you guys think?
Well, before this, I thought Spurs were making top 4, so that doesn't really change my prediction a whole lot. I still think they'll finish third. But yeah, with Bale, it's quite exciting, honestly, because he's looking at second season Mourinho is when he wins the trophies usually. I mean, he could do it in his first season as well, but second season is like the peak. So I think this is probably Spurs' best chance to win some trophies.
Yeah.
Man, like I said last week, I'm hyped. I am hyped, man. Like, we have superstars in the club now. It's like, as a Spurs fan, seeing, like, there were 2 very distinct eras, like the Bale era and the Kane era, right? And now it's like you get to see the 2 eras come together. As a kid, it was like watching like two of your favorite shows do like a crossover episode. Like, this is how I feel as a Spurs fan, and it's amazing.
Yeah, exciting times.
Safe, what do you think about Liverpool? Are they going to win the title again?
It's tough. I don't want to go out on a limb. Yeah. Also, I did predict City, so if I happen to have jinxed City, I have no apologies for that. I will gladly take that title. I know my boy Darius will probably kill me for jinxing City. But speaking of which, they shifted their focus from Koulibaly, apparently, because they don't get along with Napoli. So they shifted their focus from him to Koundé, the center back from Sevilla. I don't know how good he is, but I was worried about City getting Koulibaly. If they don't get him, then I think we have a really good shot at repeating his title, the title, winning the title again.
Yeah.
And
then Pep might go out and spend another 200 million if that happens.
Oh, this is the last year of Pep's contract.
Yeah, he could leave.
I think he said that. Didn't he say that he's like willing to stay if they want him, or if they like believe in him? He said something the other day.
I think he said something like, I think he was asked about if he'll renew his contract, and I think he said something along the lines of, I have to earn a new contract. Yeah. Like, he has to like prove it that he deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
I would want him to stay. I think the Premier League is better with him in it.
Oh yeah, 100, bro. He's
one
of the best managers in the world and has been for a long time. So definitely.
Yeah, I mean, Koundé is from what I saw, the 2 or 3 Sevilla games that I saw with him in it, he seems like a good centre. He's kind of short though. I think he's just about 6 foot. Like for a centre back, I think he's just about 6 foot. But it's a completely different profile to what Koulibaly is. But yeah, I don't think City are wasting any kind of time. I don't feel like they're going to be sitting on their hands because they missed out on like Jorginho and they missed out on Maguire, and I don't think they want to be that club anymore that just miss out and don't have any backup options. I just think that they just if they can't get their man, they'll go get someone else. Simple as that.
It hurt them last season not having a backup plan.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to learn from their mistake.
And and let's not forget they already got centre back, right?
They got loads.
Right.
They're trying to shift.
He's left-footed though, isn't he?
I think that's a problem a lot of clubs are having. They can't shift their players. If you look at Man United have like 7 or 8 centre backs. They're trying to shift them. They're trying to shift some midfielders. They're not going. Arsenal are trying to shift some players. Not going. City as well trying to shift some players. They're just not moving. It's hard for teams out here to get rid of their players, man.
And it'll be interesting to look at the wages that these players are on, because I know for a fact that a huge reason why Arsenal can't offload players is one of the reasons is because the wages are so high, you know. So I wonder if it's the same for like the City players, because obviously if you come from, you know, a mid-table team in Spain and you go to Man City, they're obviously going to pay you a lot more. It still might be, you know, average for the Premier League, but you're getting paid a lot more than you were before.
I know for a fact that's the reason why they can't get Otamendi off the books, because his wages are too high.
Too high, yeah. That makes sense.
Oh, do you want to hear something interesting about Liverpool? You know the Thiago deal, the 4-year deal. Do you know in total it's going to cost Liverpool £90 million, wages included.
Really?
So fee and wages included, and all the bonuses and shit like that. It's going to cost 90 million.
Oh wow!
Or close to that figure.
But you're including wages, right?
Yeah, including wages and bonuses.
What is his weekly wage?
Something high, man. Liverpool paid.
It's very high. He's a top earner right now, like top 3.
Yeah, Liverpool paid very well. They paid very well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still excited about it.
He secured the bag.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with it because he is world class. That's a lot though, because he'll be 33 by the time the contract runs out.
No, but safe. Fernandinho is 35, 36, and he's still doing the business.
Yeah, that's true. I have faith Thiago still will. I'm excited because this is the first time I can remember in a long time that we've signed someone who is world class at the point of us signing him. Like we have not developed them into a world class player, but they were world class when we actually signed them. I can't remember another one.
I hear you. You know, it's funny because Spurs and Liverpool. I don't know. Compared to Chelsea, with Chelsea signings, there's a little bit of doubt there. But with Spurs and Liverpool signings, should I say? I don't think there's no doubt with them. Like I can just tell with the Reguilon and especially Bell coming in. I mean, I had predicted Spurs finishing 3rd, and with those 2 signings, that just kind of cements it. And maybe they could even push for 2nd. And with Liverpool signing Thiago, who just adds a different dimension to the midfield, and Jota, who can come off the bench and, you know, do a madness.
Right.
It just, you know, they could push on for the title, you know. Whereas before I had City, maybe Liverpool can, maybe right now with those 2 signings, they can maybe, not favourites, but they're closer to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it will be interesting, and maybe the title race will even last longer, you know, if there's, you know, more competition. Because, you know, last season it was just City, Liverpool, and then Liverpool ran away with it. By January, February, you know, we kind of said, even though we were joking, we were kind of saying that, like, okay, they had already won the league because there were so many points ahead. So I think it'll be nice to have obviously I don't want Tottenham to finish too high, but it'll be nice to see them, you know, match teams like City and Liverpool pound for pound, and it'll also make for some entertaining games.
I think right now, Spurs, like Basil said, you know, they got serious superstars in their team. You know, Son is a superstar, Kane is a superstar, Bale is a superstar, Ndombele in his own right is a superstar. You know,
don't forget Black Zidane.
Oh yeah,
I'm not calling him that. I'm just calling.
For those of you who don't know, Basil is a little bit twisted. He goes around calling is it Ndombele? Which guy do you call Blackson then? Ndombele. He goes around calling him that. I won't say it again, by the way. That's disrespectful.
Damn.
That's all Basel, not me.
Yeah, I'm not calling him that. But yeah, just go back to my point. Yeah, Spurs have superstars, man, and I think there is like a genuine kind of feeling right now, is that they have to, and their main priority is to win a trophy.
To win something, yeah, they need to win something. Yeah, they have to.
I think they'll do it.
I think.
Yeah,
so
I think they will too. They're looking, like, I think they will too.
And let's not forget, Tottenham have a big squad, man. They're another team that haven't been able to shift players because they've got big squad.
Yeah. So I mean, it'll be nice to see. It'll be nice to see Harry Kane lift the Carabao Cup.
I mean, he's
the Carabao Cup.
I mean, it'd be nice. I think going back to what you were saying earlier about how competitive the league will be. I think the whole congested schedule this season, with the season trying to be contested basically like in a month less. I think that'll affect teams. I think with all the cup matches and the European games and the league all played in that condensed period, I think there are going to be some teams falling off. And I think just thinking back to the Premier League, ever since I've started watching it, there's always been like a top 4 or top 6 team that underperforms quite a lot. I think we've seen that every year, especially over the last decade. Especially like we've seen United, for example, fall off immensely over the last decade. We've seen Chelsea finish 10th one season, right? We've seen Spurs and Arsenal struggle last season, and so I think that'll inevitably happen again this season. And it's just trying to predict which team it'll be. But yeah, I think overall it's gonna be, and I know we might say this almost every year, but it genuinely looks like it might be the most competitive league we've had ever this season.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's exciting to think about. Like, you can look at like the top 6 to 8 teams. They're all
good teams.
They've all got something to offer. I'm sorry.
They're good teams, man.
Yeah, there's some very good teams out there. Okay, so moving on to our last topic of the day. How did you guys do in fantasy?
I did very well.
I did great.
I did extremely well.
I scored 52 points.
Imran dropped over 80 points this week, bro.
I dropped an 80 bomb because it was madness. And I'm so happy.
Who did you get the points from?
Bro, you know what? I'm so happy I got the strikers I did, because it was weird. When we were doing the draft, I was thinking to myself, why aren't these guys, what's it called? Why aren't they buying Calvert-Lewin, or why aren't they getting Bamford, or so on and so forth? And when I did get them, I knew that they would get me goals. And yeah, I was just happy, man. Hold on, let me get the points up.
While you're doing that, man, like I was trying to get Calvert-Lewin, man. I remember waiting for like the draft to get to me again to pick my second forward, and he went right when you got him. I was like, damn. So then I eventually got Mitrovic, who got a good bit of points this week.
80 bomb. So yeah, Costa, who I actually bought, as well as Ollie Watkins. I got those two because I feel like Costa, especially after that Liverpool game, I looked at him and I was just like, yeah, you're going to do it. You've adapted well to the Premier League. You're going to get points. So I sold Ozil and I got Costa. And Martinez with his penalty save, which brought tears of happiness. Martinez got me some points as well, 13. So yeah, I had a good week.
Oh my, you had 4 players in double digits.
Yeah. Man, if only Alexander-Arnold could get like an assist.
Yeah, he had 7. Foden was 1 point away from double digits for you.
Watkins had a good chance with Villa. He didn't score, so... But
yeah, and then what makes those 80 points even more impressive that Imran got is that, for those of you that don't know, in fantasy draft, there's no captains, so no one gets double points like you do in regular fantasy. So he managed to get 80 points without having a captain, which is kind of crazy.
The game is too easy, boys. The game is too easy. What can I say? You know?
Steady on, bro. It's only week 2.
Yeah, there's 36 more to go.
Yep. What about everyone else? What other players gave you some good points?
I had Kane. Had a pretty good week. Picked up my first win of the season after losing the first one. But yeah, Kane, Mitrovic got points. Other players were all right. But those are my main 2 sources of points right there. Who else did I have? James Maddison didn't start, so he came off the bench, and Ndombele only played a half. Sigurdsson only came off the bench, so I have a lot of midfield players that aren't playing as much, so I might have to change that. But no, it's nice to get my first win. Looking forward to the next one.
Okay, nice. How about you, Saif?
I had Son,
Oh,
everyone's favorite Oppa. Son out here, dropping 24 points. That's my guy. Somehow Firmino got an assist, so he did something.
Wow. He stopped defending for a couple seconds.
You know what though? I want to mention. I predicted Brighton to get relegated, but to be honest, they've played pretty well. Although last season they got off to a good start as well, so they might still get relegated. But this guy as well, Trossard, I think I might be pronouncing that wrong. Yeah, he's good. He's gotten me like 6 points back-to-back weeks now.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Brighton plays some good football. Like Graham Potter's got them playing some good football, but I don't know, defensively, I see them like a couple of stray passes, couple of lapses, concentration. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I still think they're going to get relegated, unfortunately.
Well, I guess we'll find out in like 36 games or less. All right, so just want to thank all the listeners. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them in the comment section of our YouTube video, or respond to one of our posts on Twitter, Instagram. If you'd like to hear a particular type of content related to football or not, let us know, and we appreciate any feedback. And that's it from us for this week.
Peace.
All right. Cheers.
Don't be afraid to slide in our DMs if you have any questions or anything.
Just stop. Just stop.
Yeah, Safe's Instagram is... No, I'm joking.
Alright, good night.
Good evening.
Classic.